Dear Cecilia, you'd be forgiven for thinking me mad. The truth is, I feel rather light-headed and foolish in your presence, and I don't think I can blame the heat.
But now, after Pride and Prejudice, I'm assuming a lot of projects were thrown your way, people wanting you. What was it about this one that you thought, this is the one I have to do?
There weren't a lot, to be honest with you. And a lot of them were kind of really girly pictures with sort of, you know, or they were Keira Knightley projects.
That's a good thing. That's good.
Which was a good thing.
Didn't sound like a good thing.
Sorry,
cheers, mate.
Sorry, there were a few things in discussion, and my agent, I'm embarrassed to say, said something very, very wise, which was that if there's one you know a secret about, then that's the one you should do. And when she said that, I immediately knew which one I wanted to do. It wasn't based on what anyone thought I should do or any kind of careerist move. It was simply based on the idea that I might do this differently from other people. And so it's very clear. A lot of people were kind of saying to me, well, you need to do a contemporary piece next, or you need to do an original screenplay next, and all these kind of preconceived notions. But what fascinated me about this was the fact that it was a story about happy endings and about storytelling. And Pride and Prejudice had been the first story I'd ever told with a happy ending. I somehow thought they were against my socialist principles or something. And so I was considering happy endings a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this project.
Olivier said that one of the problems with playing romantic leads is when you're young, you're a little embarrassed by romanticism, and that it's only when you get too old to play Romeo that you really understand it. But you both have some very romantic scenes where he's chasing after the bus, and the scene in the tea room and in the library. Were those hard?
They were emotionally and technically exacting, I suppose, but they weren't. I'm a real romantic, and I would probably lean towards sympathising too much and making it overly sentimentalised. And I think what I responded to, and I think most of us did when we read this amazing script, was that it was a film about storytelling and a film about happy endings, but within it is an amazing romantic tragedy of a classic and epic nature. And yet it wasn't sentimentalised. It still engaged your intellect on the page and in Joe's execution of it, I think, all the way down to Joe's direction of actors and when to try and make the audience milk and when to make them not. Do you know what I mean? I've forgotten the question, I'm sorry.
Actually, I think you answered the question.
I hope this bus never comes.
Something to think of while you're away.